Hello everyone, I thought I'd do a what's new video because I haven't done any posts of this in about a year or more. It's not an update because nothing's been updated, the layout's the same, just more crowded because I went on a bit of a buying spree over the past year I guess. And I've been doing some work like all the whiting of the railings and steps on the engines. New though on the layout is the 080. I got one showed up at work, so I got it. I think it was $10. I got the set. That showed up at my local hobby shop, CNF3, with a pair of PAs, 9077 and 9078, I believe. I got a pair of these steel mill switchers. That one's a dummy. That one's powered. This I got at a show. It's a brass CN10 wheeler, $60, and then I did my treatment of all the railings and everything. And then something I bought a while ago, the tender is still under work, but this was odd. It was not the funnest thing to build, but I liked it, and I'm using it as a mock-up to try to make styrene parts to make an HO sized version of this, although I think this is supposed to be accurate because I believe the original was a narrow gauge, although there was only one ever made and it lasted only 2 years and it was scrapped. So on to some of the other new stuff. That showed up at a local antique store, so I bought it for parts. Well, even though it works, it was $15. So other things for my British stuff, a Southern Terrier tank engine and 260. At my local hobby shop, this Berkshire showed up, old River Aussie. The guys put extra detail parts on, smoke box, number boards, bell. One of the number boards fell off, but it's in the box right over there. And they were in the process of remotoring it, but the motor was flopping around when a friend looked at it, because I think he was sort of bored at the moment and he wanted to see it because I was working on something else at the moment. The motor just fell into his hand. So we're working on getting the boiler shell off to attach the motor properly, then get it all sorted. Picked this up at a show a few weeks ago. It was pretty much free, even though the price sticker in there says $15. I bought a bunch of DVDs and some books from the guy. The DVDs would have cost me about $50. The books would have cost me another $10, and this engine would have been $15. And he said $40 for everything, so it was a done deal. And things I've been working on, I built this. I built one for a friend, and then a guy on DeviantArt wanted me to build him one, so I did. And then when I messaged him to say it was ready, he told me he changed his mind. Apologized, and I said that's okay, I'll just work on this to make it look sort of like that, or little differences to make them sort of different, and then run them together. And then a friend on Facebook suggested making something like this. So it's powered. I just need to do the headlights on either end. I gotta get the windows put in here at some point, possibly. Otherwise I'll just leave it like that so the heat of the decoder will come out. And I gotta get couplers on. But other than that, that's good. For my undecorated GMD1, I found at a show. It's still this one's also a dummy. Well, that one's powered now, but this one, I found it all painted up, everything. Well, this one everybody's seen, this weathered tunnel motor, but I did a deal with a friend because he doesn't like his engine looking weathered. So he traded me his only weathered engine, so I run those two together. I'm now hoping to find some more of these at shows. It was a $5 find, and I'm very happy with it, although it's very light because it's all wood. But a bit of weight under the bottom and it'll be ready to go. A deal with a club member, although the trade hasn't fully gone through. This is a Bowser AS616 for the Norfolk Southern from way back when. When he finds something in my collection that he likes, we can finish the deal. Until then, it's sort of on loan to me. And now I'll just try to thumb over some of these because this is my third or fourth time again. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but if I do a video for like 12 or 13 minutes, it'll shut itself down for some odd reason all of a sudden. I don't know why. Now then, another thing that popped up at my local hobby shop that I just had to buy for the sake of it is this little powered shunter, but it's also a rotary snowplow, and that does turn while the engine's moving. There is a separate drive shaft in there that powers the rotary. Now then, this was powered when I bought it with this powered Athearn. The guts of it have now powered that wide, undecorated wide cab over there. And then these two showed up at a different hobby shop near me, as well as this one. They're all powered, and I bought them because it never hurts to have a bit extra motive power, although as my collection shows, I don't think I'm ever going to be in a power crunch. That was a gift from a friend. That was given to me by a club member, although it originally had that Great Northern shell on it, and then the engine I got from a deal, and then part of that the Great Northern shell broke, and then a club member had this one that had all the handrails and everything, and I mentioned to him I had that shell, and he said, well, the shell was sitting in a ravine on the layout, because it's supposed to be like a wrecked engine, and he said that he'll trade the shell, it's not a problem. And then this was a gift from a friend. It's a Southern Pacific 10-wheeler. He said, because it was way back when I was building engines a lot more than I am now, that I can do as I wish with it and all that. Surplus to him, he's not doing anything with it. Now then, the same member that owns that, or owned that engine, gave me these Alco Shark Nose all metal bodies. They're dummies. They have trucks, but it's not attached to anything. They're just free floating on them. So I got to make frames for them and all that. That's a dummy Athearn. A club member was going to repaint it for Chesapeake and Ohio for something. I think he was going to paint it into Via or something. And I liked all the details and I liked the paint, so I bought it off of him before he could repaint it. This is a project I keep forgetting about at the moment. It's an old Atlas Roco FP7 frame and a modern Intermountain FP7 shell. I'm just working my way on getting it to fit properly. I don't know if I've mentioned these two club engines, or they're club labeled engines, but they both belong to me. I bought this from a club member, and the same club member gave me this one, but when he gave it to me, the center axle there and there was gone. The railings up front there were missing, the brass ones, because I made those. The battery hatch there, the step cover there. There was no snow shield, there was no parts in those number boards there. There was no plow, and there was no detail bits on any of the trucks. And no horn. So I put all those on, and I'm not planning on painting them up, because I like the look of how it is with the differences to show like the engine's been in the shop and they need it, so it's just gone in, got the part it needed, and that's back on the road. This was a deal from a friend. It's an Atlas Pennsylvania RS1. This showed up at my local Hot Wheels. I think this was there for a while, and then when somebody wanted to buy it, they found out that it had drive shaft issues. In fact, it was missing, I think, up in this end completely, part of it. So it was $5, and then I brought it home, and within 5 minutes I had it running again. So that wasn't a huge loss. The main project I've been on and off again is this Kitmaster Sterling Single. I forget the name now, I just had it in the last video I tried to make. It's a Great Western, I think it's a Bull class. It's a 422. I'm trying to get that powered frame to work in here. It's not as easy as I thought I was hoping it would be, but I'll get it at some point, I hope. Trade from a friend a while ago. I think it was actually a year ago. It's the same one I got that steam engine from. Sort of forget what I traded him for this, but it's DCC'd. And in the same deal was, I think, a CN wide cab that's over there. It's either the one there or it's the one over there, because there's two there. Oh, And the same member that owned that painted this up for me as part of a deal we did. He's the same one that actually put it all together for me. But the reason this one's painted and not that is because I'm sort of hoping to get this one done first. The only thing this is needing now is headlights, tail lights, or I think this might be headlights. It all depends on which one is the front of this. Couplers, a decoder, and handrails. And I'm sort of nervous about doing the handrails because I really don't want to drill into the paint, because he did a very good job of it, and I don't want to be the guy that screws it all up. So I'm sort of stalling on it for that reason. Now then, these two I picked up at a show a week ago. I bought them as dead for $20 for the pair. By the end of the day, when I got home, I had this one back up and running. It was just wiring issues between the two. And it's an all-metal locomotive. It's a 262. And I've given it the same treatment. White walled the wheels, the railings, the walkways, and all that. I've done the same on this one. This River Rossi 282. Sadly, this one's motor is near the end of its life. I don't think the original owner did any maintenance on it. And the motor is nearly burnt out, but I'm planning on putting a new motor in at some point. Well, as soon as I find one, I guess, be the proper way to say it. And I've powered up the Critters B unit. And this video is going to die soon, so I'll just quickly go over. Hobby Shop Lucky Finds, DCC and Sound. I think it was $110 for the pair. Trade with a club member, RSD 15. DCC and Sound. A deal at my local store. It's about $50 DC. DCC and Sound, but the DCC part of it doesn't fully cooperate. So I'm still trying to figure out the bugs. A trade from a friend. I traded him a Santa Fe 484. I got this Elco C630. And back into my collection again is this Sound Equipped Russian Decapod. Now then, before the video ends, I believe that's it. So thank you. If you have questions about anything, ask, and I'll go into details, because if I try to make a longer video, the camera